Well, I've been practicing for 2 years now. Welcome to Still Untitled, the Adam Savage Project. I'm Will.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Norm.
Thanks for doing contractions this week, guys. I appreciate
contractions that time.
Yeah, it was very nice.
Oh, what are you wearing on your wrist there?
I have a steel pebble.
A steel pebble.
Yeah,
you want steel.
It's a pebble steel.
The Pebble smartwatch.
Yeah, it is. It looks like almost like a real watch.
How do you like it?
I've had it for about 5 days so far, and it's quite good, actually.
And you never wore watches before this recently?
I used to wear watches when I was in like high school and college, and then I got a phone, and I didn't need a watch anymore because I had a clock built in.
I pressed things.
Oh, it's fine.
Happening.
Probably started playing something on my phone, but but yeah, it's like I'm kind of torn on it, honestly, because part of me thinks it's the most rude thing you could wear, right? Because it is a way to show everyone around you that anything other than the people you're talking to are more important to them the moment something happens on your phone. Like if the phone is in my pocket, I can resist the urge to pull it out.
Right.
But you don't have to look at it.
No,
I'm going to go and tell you it vibrates, and as soon as something on your wrist vibrates, you can't help it.
Can you turn off the vibration?
I'm sure, but why would you do that? That's the whole point of the thing.
Isn't the whole point that you don't take your phone out of your pocket when you're casually walking down the street
that's
doing
true.
something on your own?
You can control media playback and stuff like that.
All of these are, I was thinking about this the other day. These are all stepping stones to the future in which the data is scanned right onto your retina in space. And all it really means, I mean, I keep my phone in my pocket. Actually, during most days, I keep it on Do Not Disturb so that I only get messages when I check them. But what are we going to do when you can just put it on your retina and you just sit there and you're going to have all these people sitting there like this?
I think that's just another stepping stone toward the spike to the back of the skull Matrix style, where the machines plug us in and take over.
Apparently, there's a reasonable chance that is currently where we are.
You mean that this universe is already a hologram?
Yeah.
No way to know. There's no way to know.
It all tastes like chicken.
It all tastes like chicken. So we could do I've always wanted to do a This World Is Not This World film festival where you'd have Dark City, The Matrix, The 13th Floor, Existenz. There must be others.
Oh, there are many others.
Kind of Donnie Darko, right?
Donnie Darko.
Oh yeah.
La Jetée.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it goes all the way down.
Yeah, Turtles.
What if one of the movies is inside the other movie is inside the other movie is inside the
yeah 12 Monkeys. Did we say that? Did someone?
No,
12 Monkeys isn't really inside the other world though.
It's time travel.
It's time travel.
Yeah. Time travel begs that. You're right. I love The 13th Floor. I don't know if you've seen The 13th Floor.
So
I
saw it when it was new. Because I think I was at the movies, remember when you used to go to movie rental stores to rent movies and take home and watch?
I do.
And the front of the box said, "This is just like The Matrix, but more awesome." And I was really keen on The Matrix in early 2000.
It came out before The Matrix.
Came out just before.
Yeah.
But I think the VHS, it was on VHS or DVD maybe at that time, right after The Matrix The Matrix was probably still in theaters, if I had to guess. And it was like mind-bending sci-fi. So I took it home. I was like,
Tron.
This is okay. Tron, definitely.
Yeah, 13th Floor is, oh God. You know what I used to do with with video rental stores is not return the videos.
That gets expensive.
And ages.
That's what people used to do with Netflix.
Here's how I knew that Julia, my wife, was the woman for me. On our fourth date, I drove out to her place in Berkeley. And we decided, let's rent a movie. So we went over to her local Blockbuster and we parked outside. And as we're standing outside in the parking lot, she goes, "Oh, by the way, you're going to have to sign up for your own account here because they think I owe them $100. No,
well,
the
good
movie
thing
we rented that night stayed in my trunk for 6 weeks.
Wow. I once had before I canceled my Netflix discs, I had Netflix discs for almost 2 years.
And then you could get away with saying, "Oh, I lost it in the mail."
No, I just was like,
they don't charge you overages.
What do you want for this copy of Hot Fuzz?
Even now, occasionally we'll rent something from Lost Weekend Video here in the Mission. And which I still think of as a new video store, even though they've been there for like 15 years.
Yeah, okay.
There are a few good video stores in San Francisco. Lay Video.
Lay Video is great.
San Francisco is a city rife with terrific video stores.
Yeah. Well, we also have a lot of hipsters who probably still have VHS players in their house.
Absolutely true.
Yeah.
But I think if I went there today to rent a video, they go, sure. Oh, it looks like you owe us $28 for Spirited Away.
It's one of your you have no face in your shop. Why didn't you just buy it, Adam?
Because I have it. I own it. It's not Spirited Away, but I recently had to buy another copy of Spirited Away because of the way my kids handle the DVDs.
You know,
They stack them.
that kid handling DVD thing, even at 16 months, she's figured out how to open cases now.
Oh, yeah.
So she just goes and opens the cupboard with the discs and takes them out, and they're the best playthings ever.
You should make the kids rewind them.
Here's one.
God damn it, Norm.
Here is the one that happened to me with my new DVD player. Because DVD players were still kind of expensive 15 years ago when my boys were born. And so my DVD player is like, you know, one of my favorite new things. And then one day it stopped working. Nothing's making it work. So I opened it up.
Of course.
Of course.
You're Adam
I
Savage.
take off the top and I open it up and it's filled with Cheerios and change.
Wait, how do you get
they
Cheerios
put it in the
inside
slot?
a DVD player?
They would push the button and the slot would come out and then they'd stick Cheerios through the
Why?
back.
Feeding it.
They were like one and a half.
Feeding the DVD Cheerios. That's expensive.
They have no idea. Like, this is the thing. They're just like, oh, I see Dad put stuff in here. I have Cheerios. I'll put my stuff in here.
You know, I specifically remember the first time my son Thing 2 saw a commercial.
Ooh.
Yeah. We would have just Teletubbies or something on Saturday mornings. We just put videos in and they could watch that, right? I didn't turn on TV until one day. I don't know, you know, it was like, I turned on TV, right? So they're watching, you know, they're like 1.5, maybe 2. And they're watching some cartoon show and they're like, yeah, this is cool. We haven't seen stuff like this before. And then the cartoon ends and it's like, Toys R Us, with the wedges and dino buddy shooting up. And Thing 2 looks at that and he turns around to me and he goes, I want that. And I was like, wow, these guys are good.
Well, it's amazing the little sponges that they are, because this weekend my daughter, at some point, you know, there's phones all over our house for obvious reasons. So at some point I see her walk out and she just has the phone up to her ear like this. And she keeps going, hello, 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 hello. And I don't ever answer the phone hello anymore because you always know who it is. You go, oh, hey, Adam, how's it going? Hey, Norm, what's up? What's up? Hello? So I have no idea where she got that, but she did it all weekend. It was her favorite new game. Of course, it's a two-sided iPhone glass phone. She's waving it around like it's made of steel. So what are you going to do?
Read that Gopnik piece in the New Yorker a few years ago called Tony Ravioli about Gopnik's son's imaginary friend?
No.
Oh, it's great. God, it's a long time ago now. Because I've met that son.
He's 36.
And he's like in college. He graduated from Sarah Lawrence. So Gopnik's son has an imaginary friend named Tony Ravioli. And Gopnik's son has this Fisher-Price phone, and he's talking to Tony Ravioli on the phone, and he's spending all his time trying to arrange a time to see Tony Ravioli. Well, can you see me on Tuesday? No, I'm busy on Tuesday, but we can maybe do Wednesday. No, maybe we could do Thursday for the kids playing out.
Oh, there's
the modern friendship. Wait, it gets better, right? And so Gopnik and his wife are watching this with growing like, oh man, we're such dicks. And the kid's like, he can't ever, he's like, his fantasy world is so busy he can't get together with his imaginary friend, and then he's actually talking to his imaginary friend's assistant, and he's like, well, can you tell Tony that I'd like to see him on Wednesday? Oh no. Hi Bill. No, Tony can't get together on Wednesday. No, Thursday's no good for me. And he calls his sister, who lives actually here in Noe Valley, and he says, what should I do? And she says, move out of New York.
Well, it's imagination.
The lens through which your children see you removes all vanity from your life.
Well, you know, it's funny because, yeah, one of my kids, I'm not going to quote him directly, but, you know, we're talking with a friend of ours and he was talking about a show he liked, and he said something that was so grossly precocious for a 15-year-old to say about like an established, experienced actor. And I was like, wow, that is so precocious. That's crazy that you said that. And then I think, that's only a little bit more dickish than we probably sound through most of our conversations about culture, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, I watch thousands of movies. I know what it's like to be an actor. I know how to do this better than those jerks.
My mom always said that having kids was basically immediately obtaining your own Greek chorus.
What's a Greek chorus?
The Greek chorus is the convention in a Greek play that comments on the action. They're like, "Oh, the king!" So they open the play.
Oh, the guys who follow Brutus around.
Remember Mighty Aphrodite?
Yeah.
So that chorus of people, the masked people talking about the action, that is literally a Greek chorus.
It's very literal.
And they are, it's literally talking about the action of the play, and that's what your kids do. You know, Dad, you didn't say that last week.
Color commentary.
Yeah,
for life.
Absolutely.
So to answer your question about the Pebble, it's okay.
It's okay.
I'm conflicted. Like you can put watch faces on it like this one, which is incredibly weird and on the nose, where it just spells out the time, kind of.
It says 1:41.
It's probably actually 1:40. It'll say 3:15.
Oh, right.
When it means when it's really
from 13 to 16
exactly
to 3.
Exactly.
So what's weird is that somewhere in my office at home, I don't know if Pebble sent me one, but I have a Pebble, and I have it in my office in an envelope labeled "Give to Will and Norm." So you guys
Mission
can
accomplished.
play with it. I'll break it out so you don't feel left out.
That's all right. That's a Pebble Steel.
This is the new one.
Pebble Steel.
The old ones were plastic. This one's made of metal.
You know, speaking of Pebble Steel,
Yeah.
this is a really weird segue. Again, still not to whatever the point of this podcast
I have no idea what it was anymore.
Bought a ukulele.
Really?
Yes.
You've been hanging out with Hodgman again?
Well, that's what happened is I interviewed Hodgman on stage recently here at the Norse Auditorium, and it was a lovely time. And he's such a gracious and wonderful interview. And I think we're going to do this every year. I think that's basically what we should
We'll
do.
swap it every year. He interviews you, you interview
I think
him.
it's a good strategy.
And he finished with a ukulele song. He sang this wonderful Tennessee folk song called Rocky Top.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And everyone got to sing along.
You know, I went to the University of Tennessee.
Oh, I did
whose
not know
fight
that.
song
Oh.
is Rocky Top.
It was
Yes.
lovely.
A lovely
And
folk song.
He played it on. I've never heard it before.
song.
I
Good
don't.
God,
I don't
man.
know.
You're the worst college football fan I've ever met.
College football, is that the pointy ball?
It's the pointy one with the stitches made out of pigs.
Jamie made the
one in
exact
which
same
they
joke.
take
Yes.
advantage of the players to the tune of millions of dollars to
hey.
feed a giant machine.
Before I did what I do now, I worked for the academic side of the football program at the University of Tennessee. You know, the university attached to it.
Yeah.
I totally understand. They were making millions of dollars and we were, scratching together PCs out of...
Exactly.
There's a lot of politics there. Football's nice.
At any rate, John finished our appearance with singing Rocky Top with the crowd singing along and me singing along as well on the ukulele. And when we came backstage, I said, that was lovely. And he said, do you play the ukulele? And I said, no. And he said, that's crazy that you don't. It's ludicrously easy to play and super pleasurable. You should totally learn how to play. So a couple of days later, I went over to Guitar Center. And I bought 2 of them, one for my wife and one for me, and we've been slowly learning.
Oh.
I've been teaching myself Yoshime versus the Robots.
Oh, that's great.
Perhaps at some point I'll play it for tested.
That sounds like
Once
a
I
wonderful
have it
idea.
down to a point of,
great.
it can
this-
actually be.
San Francisco guitar centers must have the biggest stock of ukuleles across all guitar centers.
I couldn't
in
get
America.
much love over there in the ukulele corner. It's a little tiny section. I
tiny
know,
instrument.
right? It should be. There should
Yeah.
be a
Yeah, there should be like the ukulele super center in there.
ukulele.
It should be the ukulele center. Also, we have guitars.
Right. No, I was over there thinking, are these people on commission?
Ukes
It's like
are
people
us.
walking past me, and I'm standing there, and I'm like, why can't I get any love over here in the ukulele section?
Did you? So when I was a kid and I learned how to play ukulele, which I don't remember at all anymore, I had this book that had a 45 album with it, which I assume you probably didn't get with the book you buy today.
Yeah.
But it was called Somebody Hawaiian Teaches You How to Play Ukulele. I don't remember what the guy's
I'd buy
name
that
was.
book.
Hawaiian.
But he had an obviously Hawaiian name.
Got it. I
And
figured
he was
that
wearing a
out.
Hawaiian print shirt, and he had a ukulele, and,
Okay.
and he taught me the 5 chords, and I could at the end I could play little Oh Susanna,
Yeah.
she'll be coming around the mountain.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Well, I mean, except now you can go on YouTube and
Oh right.
the web and find tabs for every song you ever wanted to play, even transposed to the easier keys.
Can you
Is it
play
just loaded by tabs?
YYZ?
I don't know what YYZ is.
It's a Rush song, right?
Oh.
Isn't it? It was the hardest song on Guitar Hero.
Oh, really?
That's all I remember.
Anyway, it's been very pleasurable playing the ukulele. I bought this lovely one from Hawaii, of course, made in the Philippines. made of some wood that's
Roan
nice.
or teak or something.
No,
rosewood.
softer wood. I can't remember any of the details. I am a useless old.
It's
man
amazing.
At this point with the details.
It's amazing because usually when we talk about something, then it's like rife with all the elements of its production, the materials used,
right.
Like you.
So perhaps on this front, I'm a little more reticent because it's like a brand new thing to actually. I taught myself piano to play the Commander thing so loud. I taught myself piano. I taught myself four chords.
You taught yourself to play one song on the piano.
John Roderick sent me four chords to play to teach me how to play his song. Is more accurate, and I feel more tenuous about this as a new skill to learn because I really so it's like I get the chords down, I get the strumming down, and then I try and sing, and everything goes to shit.
Well, and playing a musical instrument requires putting yourself out there in a way that a lot of the other skills you've acquired don't. Like if you're, for example, the video that's going up on Thursday shows you epically failing during the attempt of building there's a project.
Yeah.
And normally when you're doing stuff like that, if you mess it up, you just try it again until you get it right. And with a musical performance, you kind of don't have that option. You kind of get it right the first time, or you fail publicly and then keep going.
Learning with Julia.
Yeah. So we've been sitting there and strumming, and my son Thing One has picked it up, and he's really enjoying the ukulele. It's beautiful sounding when you buy a nice one. It's a lovely, lovely thing.
So we were going to talk today about the stuff that you do with free time.
Right.
And I guess mission accomplished.
Yes. Well, it's funny because it's you realize you just have to sit there and be strumming for 45 minutes a day to sort of slowly get better.
You're getting calluses in the whole thing, or
and also starting to be able to play without looking, starting to know the chords. So now I can look at a tab and I know what a G and an F and a C and a D and a A minor 7 look like because they're in another song I'm playing. But I guess one of the questions you got just before we came here was about the drudgery, right? The drudgery of learning something, of doing something.
Well, what are the things that you gotta have to do that you don't want to do, but you just have to do? And how do you motivate yourself?
I mean, the fact is that most of the stuff you have to do.
The thing that Norm and I have talked about is that the more fun stuff we get to do, the more other stuff comes along with that, because you either have to figure out how to pay for that, or you have to plan it out, or all of the above. And there's just always, for every hour of awesome stuff that we do, and I'm sure it's much more for you guys, there's 5 hours of planning behind that, and planning still is kind of tedious.
It's totally. So if you want to. The way you get to do the most fun stuff is by being really, really competent, really, really easy to communicate with from your bosses, and ultimately by driving the car. Right. If you're driving the car, you get to choose and do the most fun stuff.
And you have to like driving.
But if you're driving the car, you got to be driving.
Yeah.
You got to maintain that thing. You got to be doing all the stuff. Jamie. It's like people say, Jamie and I have the best job in the world, And the fact is, it's also the hardest job because we love it and we want to tell the good stories and we want it to go right. And that means it requires just 100% of our attention to make the show the way we want to make it.
Well, and somebody told me the challenge when you're doing something like that is not to make a pretty good show every week. It's to make every single show that you make the best show you've ever made. Right?
Yeah.
Because you have to constantly be improving, or else people fall off, and it's not.
And
that's always the challenge.
You get bored.
Yeah.
If you're not trying to improve it, you're stagnating and you're getting bored. And when you're bored, you get tired more easily. I mean, but to go back to more of the minutia of the drudgery, my main technique is I always do the hardest thing first. I always do the most boring thing at the front.
You don't go for the low hanging fruit.
No, because the low hanging fruit's going to be more. It's going to be easier and it's going to be more fun.
You save that for when you hit the 60% slump.
Right, exactly. Now sometimes it's different when you're like cleaning a room. You got to go for the low hanging fruit.
Sure.
Got to move the coats out. Then you got to move the garbage.
There's
out.
order of operations.
Yeah, but if I have a project and there's there's 50 holes to drill, but then there's something to like sand smooth and polish, I always drill the holes first because I can anticipate that. Soon I'll get to polish. Once I'm done with these,
polishing
done.
is a fun activity, judging by the look
so
on your
much
face.
Fun. Oh, I love doing. I'm just
really
working on
polish
this. I'm working on this thing over here. I'm machining some parts that I already had, but they weren't aluminum. So I machined them out of aluminum, and they're going to be shiny. We'll reveal all of this later on this year. And for me, making aluminum shiny and pretty is like the most thrilling part of machining and making stuff.
Very satisfying.
Do the hard stuff first.
Yeah, I always do the hard stuff first.
Well, and then
Between two things, you want to finish going downhill. Right, my son's going to go to high school next year up in the Western Addition, or actually even farther north of that. And he's like, "Yeah, I think I'll start taking my bike," and it's great. He goes through the wiggle and heads up there. And the best part about it is home is all downhill.
Yeah, I can see that. But then some other stuff you do, like you spend a lot of time. I mean, we all spend a lot of time on the phone, doing conference calls that require, let's say, not quite 100% of your mental capacity. Maybe in spurts they do.
Calls are like the bane of Western civilization.
We've made strategic errors as a civilization. The moment somebody invented a conference bridge and Outlook, so they made it easy to schedule lots of people on the phone at the same time. All that aside,
here's what I would love. Yes. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I know you do null. You've been known to null stuff during calls, and you kind of do stuff. It's not necessarily productive, but it's kind of good. It's like mind detox almost.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I do a few things. One is I wear the noise canceling headset, so that and the new. Have we talked about the new Bose in-ear noise canceling mofos?
Are they really called mofos? That's an unfortunate name.
They are. This is such a derail, but they are the best things ever.
Okay.
If you put them in your ears. Now, unlike most in-ear things, they don't go all the way in your ear, so they don't make your ears tired like buds can.
Oh, see, I put the foam tips on my ears, and it's like the inside of my ear gets a gentle massage all day.
But a lot of people have, and I'm one of them. Your ears get tired, even of those after a while. These are really well constructed. You put them in, you turn on the noise canceling on the airplane, and the noise of the airplane disappears. It doesn't go into the background. It's pretty much gone.
That saves you energy.
And so it also goes the other way. Like my wife has called me from her convertible. With those headsets in, and it sounds like she's in a room. Like the noise canceling works both directions. It's amazing. So I'll put those in so people can't hear me noodling.
Okay.
Or I'll just put myself on mute.
Yeah.
And, until I'm needed. Conference calls, man, they're just so
And you're not spending 25% of your brain power deciphering what people are saying.
Yeah. Also, may I just point out, what would be great for conference calls? This guy in a conference call, the one who doesn't seem to take a breath when he's talking and just keeps on talking, and you want to interrupt, you want to say a point, but he's actually going to spell out everything twice and then go through the next thing as well, and you've actually got to start making notes so that you can interrupt it. Right?
We don't really know anybody like that.
So I think that conference calls, if you're in a conference call and your iPhone knows you're in a conference call, it should know that you're speaking and time you. You've now been speaking for 30 seconds. It's time to pause.
I had a friend.
Wouldn't that be great?
Who spent way too much time on conference calls who wanted to build a startup specifically to do like control panels for conference calls, so that if somebody was talking too much or their dog was barking in the background or something like that, you could just, whoever was in charge could just turn them off.
Nice.
Yeah.
That would be great.
It's like Dr. Evil's button to send them into the fire pit.
Exactly. Pretty much. Maybe less fire pit, but yeah. So takeaways from the podcast. I'm going to wrap this all up. Pebble Steel, kind of
Pebble Steel,
not sure.
Kind of okay.
Still thinking about it.
Awesome.
Thumbs up on the ukulele. Do the hard stuff first.
Always.
Right. Conference calls, product of Satan.
Conference calls suck.
Yeah.
Noise canceling headphones.
Conference call parody video, right?
Which the College Humor one?
Yeah, the one where everyone's sitting around and the guy ends up at the end. Have you been here the whole time?
Yeah.
That is.
People should watch that. It's a good video.
It's a good video.
Yeah, and the Bose in-ear noise canceling headphones. You strongly pro.
Bose has not paid me a cent to say that.
So it's not it's not a paid endorsement. This is just an outright free endorsement.
That is
okay.
They should totally send me one now. They should send me two, one for each of you.
One for each ear.
Let's see, what else have we got? Anything else we want to hit while we're here?
No, I think we've played it out.
All right.
This is a wandering, meandering.
It's Monday. We'll be back next week with another edition of Still Untitled. If you would like to like us on YouTube, rate us on iTunes.
If you genuinely like it.
Exactly. Yeah. Find out about premium memberships on Tested, where you can get more of this great content every week. You can go to tested.com/premium. We'll be back next week with more. Thanks, guys. This has been fun.
See you next time.
Fun? Question mark?